Hello, dear friends. I am Dr. Parveen Malik, and welcome back to PM Knowledge Hub. So, in an earlier lecture, we had discussed the characteristics of a good hypothesis. Today, I will talk about the sources or basis for the formulation of hypothesis. So, without wasting any more time, let's get started. The first source or base for the formulation of a good hypothesis is research related theoretical literature. The term of a good hypothesis can be understood by referring to the theoretical literature of research and books. It helps to plan the entire research process scientifically. Therefore, the researcher should study such literature before formulating a hypothesis. But while selecting such literature, the researcher should check its credibility and refer to more than one book to understand any aspect of the research. Report of earlier research. The researcher should refer to some of the previous research reports which are related to his research problem. Such reports offer little idea for a better hypothesis, but a researcher should not blindly follow the hypothesis given in a such report. Instead, he should think logically on the hypothesis in terms of objectives, research tools, variables, and data analysis techniques adopted by earlier researchers. On the basis of such thinking, he should decide his own hypothesis. Pre experience. Sometimes pre experience makes the researcher help in selecting a research problem. Their previous experiences in the field of research led them to think in the right direction about the problem and the research process. Such thinking gives him an idea of possible solution to the problem. Such ideas help them to formulate good hypotheses and make their research work impartial. Beliefs prevailing in selected field. Sometimes it is found that some strong beliefs prevail in the chosen field of research. People working in the area ignore such beliefs. Such assumptions provide the basis for formulating hypotheses when a researcher attempts to conduct research to challenge such assumptions. Culture. The culture of any country influences its social, economical, technological, industrial, political, and educational development. It motivates a person to develop his work in a certain way. Culture establishes certain morals and traditions in society and directs the thought process of the people. When the researcher tries to study the factors influenced by the culture provides the basis for making hypotheses. Intellectual discussion with subject experts. If the researcher does not have sufficient information regarding the field he or she chooses for research or does not have experience in that field, he or she should contact the individuals and experts associated with that field and discuss various aspects of that field. Such a discussion guides the researcher in formation of hypothesis. Creative thinking. Creative thinking inspires a person to engage in creative work or to do something new. Creative thinking makes a person think differently about the same thing. Therefore, if a researcher does not know enough about the field, he should use his creative thinking ability to formulate hypotheses. Insight of the researcher. Constant thinking on the problem of research and the field of research can develop the researcher's insights. This insight help him to formulate good hypotheses. Inventions done in the field of science and technology. Discoveries in the field of science and technology introduce new techniques and technology. The use of new technology brings significant changes in the way work is done in any field. Such a system provides new ideas for the formulation of hypotheses. On the other hand, computers and information technology have made it easier to analyze big data than ever before. Therefore, the researcher may include a large population and the sample in the research. In addition, digital cameras, webcams, social networking system, email, video conferencing help collect large data and provide the opportunity to incorporate more variables into the hypothesis. Thus, the scope for incorporating more hypotheses into the research of science and technology increases. Analogy. Many rules, principles, and theories related to behavioral science, psychology, and education established or developed by experimenting on animals. Such experiments provide provide the basis for formulating hypotheses in educational, psychological, and sociological research. Formulating hypotheses for the research in one field on the basis of the theories and principles established in another field is called analogy. Here are some common sources for hypothesis formulation. That's not the final list. In the future, technological advances may present more resources. A person can make good hypotheses only if he has knowledge of the type of hypothesis. Now we will discuss the types of hypothesis in the next lecture. Thank you so much for watching.